Etsy's pricing structure can be a bit confusing, and let's be real, those fees add up. That's why in today's video I'm going to break it all down for you. I will explain everything step by step, so by the end of this video you will know exactly how much Etsy takes and how to calculate your real profit. Hey everyone! If you are selling on Etsy or thinking about starting, you've probably wondered, how much does Etsy actually take from my sales? Today I'm breaking down all the Etsy's fees so you know exactly what to expect. Let's get started. First up, listing fees. Every time you list an item on Etsy, you pay a 20 cents fee per listing. This fee applies whether the item sells or not, and is valid for 4 months. Example. If you list 10 items, you will pay $2 upfront. If they don't sell within 4 months, you will need to renew them. And that's another 20 cents per listing. So even before making a sale, you have a small upfront cost to keep in mind. Next, Etsy charges a transaction fee every time you make a sale. This fee is 6.5% of the total order amount, including shipping cost. Yes, they take a cut from shipping too. Example. If you sell an item for $20 plus $5 shipping, the 6.5% fee applies to $25, not just the item price. Etsy takes $1.63 from this sale. This is one of the biggest fees sellers deal with. Now let's talk about payment processing fees. These fees depend on your country, but for sellers in the US, Etsy charges 3% plus 25 cents per transaction. Example. If you sell something for $30, Etsy will take 90 cents plus 25 cents, which means you lose $1.15 in processing fees. If your order total is higher, this fee increases accordingly. This fee covers the cost of handling credit card transactions, so it's unavoidable when using Etsy payments. I run my Etsy shop in the European Union, specifically in the Czech Republic, so my processing fees are slightly different. In my case, Etsy charges 4% plus 30 euro cents per transaction, which makes this fee a bit higher for me as a seller in Europe. If you are selling in another country, be sure to check Etsy's fee structure for your specific location. Etsy automatically promotes some of your listings through offsite ads on platforms like Google, Facebook, and other external sites. While this may sound great, there's a catch. If a customer clicks on an ad and makes a purchase within 30 days, Etsy charges an additional fee. If your shop earns less than $10,000 per year, Etsy takes 15% of the order total as an offsite ads fee. If you make more than $10,000 per year, this drops to 12%, but you cannot opt out of the program. For sellers earning less than $10,000 per year, the Offsite Ads program is optional, meaning you can disable it if you don't want to pay the extra fee. However, once you exceed the $10,000 threshold, Etsy will automatically enroll you and you won't be able to opt out. Pro tip: if you sell high-ticket items, the 12 to 15% fee can take a significant cut from your profit. Be sure to calculate whether these ads are worth it for your business, or consider opting out while you still can. I personally have offsite ads enabled because I wanted to test how it works, and I've just left it on since then. For me, the fees from offsite ads are not significant. Some months is just a few euros, and sometimes it's even zero. For example, here's my monthly statement from November 2024. Sales are 825 euros and 43 cents. Total fees are 127 euros and 94 cents, which is quite a lot. And offsite ads fee is only €1.51. As you can see, in the grand scheme of things, my offsite ads fees are minimal. However, they might not be the case for everyone. Depending on your shop's pricing and order volume, Offsite ads fees could have a bigger impact on your overall profit. This is pretty much the case for me every month, but it's important to check how it affects your own sales. I'll definitely analyze Etsy's fees in more detail in future videos, so stay tuned if you want a deeper dive into these numbers. If your shop's listing currency is different from the currency of your Etsy payment account, your sales funds will be subject to a 2.5% currency conversion fee. Etsy automatically converts your Etsy payment sales amounts from your shop currencies into the currency of your payment account before depositing the funds. For example, if you list items in euros but your payments account is set to US dollars, Etsy will convert your earnings from euros to US dollars and apply a 2.5% currency conversion fee before the amount appears in your payment account. This fee is subtracted from your sale amount before your funds are reflected, meaning you won't see a separate charge for it, just a lower deposit amount. Pro tip: to avoid these fees, set your shop's currency to match your payment account currency whenever possible. You can check how much you are losing to conversion fees by downloading your Etsy Payment Sales CSV file in your account settings. Etsy offers a paid subscription called Etsy Plus for $10 per month. It includes 15 free listing credits, saves you $3, $5 ad credit for Etsy ads, and more customization for your shop. Is it worth it? If you regularly pay for ads or list a lot of items, Etsy Plus might save you a little money, but for most sellers isn't necessary, I think. So let's put it all together with an example. If you sell an item for $40 plus $5 shipping, here's how much Etsy takes. Listing fee, 20 cents. Transaction fee, $2.93. Payment processing fee, $1.60. This only applies to US sellers because it can differ in other countries. And optional offsite ads fee, $6.75. Total fees are up to $11.48. That's over 25% of your sale. Of course, if you are not using offsite ads, your fees will be lower. But as you can see, Etsy's fees add up fast. So make sure you price your items with these costs in mind. Since I'm a seller based in Europe, my fees are actually higher than the example I just gave. If I sell the same item for $40 plus $5 shipping, my fees break down like this. Listing fee is the same. Transaction fee is also the same. Payment processing fee is $2.18. It's higher than for US sellers. Offsite ads fee is also the same, but I have to pay VAT on all fees. It's 21%, which is $2.61, which I must pay to the government. Total fees are $15.03 instead of $11.48. That's 33.4% of my total sale, which is significantly higher compared to US sellers. Because of VAT and higher processing fees, sellers in the EU and other regions need to be even more mindful when pricing their products. Additionally, other factors come into play, such as the US free shipping guarantee for orders over $35. For European sellers, this can be particularly challenging because overseas shipping costs are significantly higher and it's essential to factor them into product pricing. And that's not even mentioning that to increase sales, occasional discounts and promotions may be necessary, but they still need to be profitable. If you are interested, I can make separate videos discussing these topics in more detail. Let me know in the comments. Now, did you know exactly how much Etsy takes from your sales? Here are a few quick tips to help you maximize profit. Price your products smartly. Always factor in fees, materials, and shipping costs when setting prices. Track your sales and fees. Use Etsy's built-in analytics or tools like Everbee to keep track of what you are really earning. Everbee is a great platform that has helped me analyze my Etsy shop and competitors' shops, and I will definitely talk about it in more detail in future videos. You can find a link in the video description if you want to check it out for yourself. If you want to calculate your fees to see how they would apply to you, there are plenty of Etsy fee calculators available online. I personally love using one that I frequently rely on. It allows you to adjust multiple parameters, which I find really useful. You can even factor in the maximum discount you can afford to offer while staying profitable. Plus, one of the best features is that it lets you input VAT and percentages on fees, which is super helpful for European sellers since not all calculators offer this. Of course, I will leave the link in the video description so you can check it out for yourself. Consider your business model. If Etsy's fees are cutting into profits too much, you might want to sell on multiple platforms to compare costs. I also plan to cover this topic in upcoming videos where I will be comparing different platforms to see how they stack up against Etsy. So tell me, did you expect Etsy's fees to be this high? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Etsy seller tips. See you in the next video. Bye!